So, hello. I'm a member of the Mosquito Group, and my name is Shin. There's also Ben, Ta, Jacob, and Tameo, and we've been working on how to reduce and avoid mosquitoes. And this is our infographic, which took us a really long time to do, and below over here is the fun facts. Up there's the types of mosquitoes. And next to us is our paper mache, which is an IEDs. We're really proud of it. It took us many days. And we also did, and we were asking ourselves, how are mosquitoes connected to water? And so mosquitoes actually breathe in water, and so that's how it's connected. And behind you is the display board. We designed that the display board shouldn't have the title on it, and it would just be covered in facts and surveys that we did about. This is the life cycle. This is our LOIs, which I think it could be a bit bigger. This is our action, and this is the survey we did. We turned it into a pie chart. So we also did what do you call it? Oh yeah, the repellent making table. So we on that table we'll make repellents live for you. We'll show you how to make them. This is the repellent making table, and this is how we make a repellent. Yeah, we also give out seeds, free seeds, basil seeds, because mosquitoes don't like basil. Anyways, all we have to do to make a repellent is we need to have 4 ounces of apple cider vinegar, and then a
small handful
of
of
parsley.
And then you mix it up together and mush it up for 2 minutes at least. Once you've done that, you'll have to leave it overnight so then it'll have a better effect. After that, you filter it into a bottle or a mosquito spray, and you made your mosquito repellent. Easy.
It's natural, and maybe you could add some honey or lemon into it, so it won't smell that bad.
So these are the Anopheles, Aedes, and Culex. The Anopheles sits on a 45-degree angle, which is more different than the others. The Aedes has a black and white pattern on its back, and it is the one that carries dengue. And the Anopheles carries malaria. The Culex, it has a hunchback on its back, and yeah, the Culex is quite common in Thailand, and it carries filariasis. Aedes also carries Zika, which is really common in Brazil. And Zika also makes, if the Aedes, if a pregnant woman gets Zika, the baby that will have encephalitis, which is when their head is smaller than usual.
Hello, we are the Drinking Water Group. And so firstly, on LOI 1, we wanted to know what clean drinking water is. So we wanted to know here are the pH levels, stands for potential hydrogen. And Pong, you will explain more about it.
So this is basically like the regulations of pH on drinking water in different countries. So the lower the pH means more acidic and usually will taste more sour. And then the higher pH is more alkaline, basically more salty and yeah.
So next we wanted to know the common impurities. So one of the most most common impurities are chlorine. It's used for killing microorganisms, which are small germs, but when you use it too much, it can give health problems. And there's another thing, which is fluorine, which has many positive traits like to clean our teeth, but it's quite toxic when you use it too much. And there's also another thing, which is lead, which is a toxic metal which could damage your blood, brain, and nervous systems. Here are some others.
You know when your house floods and then there's like white stuff on the ceiling? That is actually calcium bicarbonate, also known as chalk. So on to our line of inquiry 2. Our second line of inquiry was about how filters work and changes to them over time.
So firstly, we wanted to know how filters work. So because I have a reverse osmosis filter at my home, so here is the applied pressure of tap water, and there's a membrane, which is a panel with very, very small holes up to 0.001 microns, which traps all the bacteria and impurities and lets only clean water come out. But the downside to them is if you put 10 liters down, only 1 liter comes out. And another downside is that there's calcium in water, which it's trapped too. That's why the water that comes out, it tastes good, but it doesn't make you healthy. And another thing is changes to them over time. We wanted to know the changes to them over time, so we started researching about them, and then we found that in the beginnings of 2000 BC, they already knew that the ancient Greek and India knew how to heat the water and that it would purify it a little bit. And they also knew the sand and gravel filtration, which would only make it taste better, but not make it that clean, which would still make them sick. Okay.
Also, the ancient Egyptians used a chemical that we use today. It's called alum. This chemical would make all impurities stick, and then when the impurities stick, the alum would sink to the bottom because it would be heavy, leaving only clean water at the top.
So now we're going to LOI 3, access to clean water in Thailand and how we can tackle it. Most of the people who don't have access to clean water are the migrants from Burma, and they don't have much money. And here you see how Thai people get water from. Mostly it's rainwater, and only some are natural and well. And 23% is tap water, and 31.50% is bottled water. And that's a big problem because you would normally see many bottles lying around. That's why, because many people drink bottled water. And this is also, LOI 3 is also linked to our action. So we wanted to know what is a filter that is cheap and effective. So we found this filter, which is a corn cob filter, which uses corn cobs to filter. And here are the different stages, which takes out different things. And Pong, you could talk about that now.
So the first layer is just whole corn cobs, and you just stick it into a bottle and make them as tight as possible so there aren't any gaps, so that the water is forced in through the corn cobs, because the corn cobs have little holes in them. For the second layer, it's cut up pieces. This works the same way as the first layer, but the second layer will be packed more tightly so that it will be even tighter, so that more impurities will be filtered. The third layer is charcoal, which is basically burnt corn cobs until they are black and then crushed up with a mortar and pestle. For the fourth layer is corn cob powder. We take small pieces, we crush them with a pestle and mortar, and then we blend them until they're a powder. The powder does not have to be a fine powder. And for the final layer, fine sand. So for the final layer is fine sand. To make fine sand, you have to wash the sand first. Then you have to dry it for 2 to 5 hours, depending on the sunlight. Then you sieve it, and to get all of the rocks out, and until the sand is like very fine.
Hello, my name is Kirsten, and this is our piece. There's a lot of meanings to it, and it's kind of very sad. That water droplet that you see, it stands for the 3% of water that we have in the world. The background kind of represents the water that we cannot drink, or for example, seawater or very dirty water. The green stuff in the droplet stands for all the germs and chemicals that people put in it. And it keeps on going and going. It spreads until the whole entire water droplet turns into the background. And it's really kind of sad. So if I were you, I'd rather just not waste water, keep it. The scientists are coming up with new ways to get water, for example, boil. They're using seawater, and they're gonna filter it to make it very clean. That's one of the reasons, but there's so many other reasons.
I have a question. Is this real?
Okay, thank you for listening.
Hello, we're the Beach Litter Group. I'm O.
I'm Tom. That's me.
So our central idea is water is a vital resource that should be managed responsibly.
Our LI one is how rubbish ends up on the beach.
So the first way is flooding. So a flood takes rubbish from the mainland that people litter down onto the beaches. Second way is littering. So just litter. And the third way is tides. So tides basically take rubbish with them when they back down, and then they wash that rubbish ashore on another beach.
Not only that, rubbish came from around the world, such as international junk, waterway, or sewage. And our ally too is the impact pollution has on beaches.
It contaminates the water, makes the water dirty. So basically, there's a lot of shacks that the litter's gotta be dirty. So they'll make the water dirty too. The water dirty, it decreases the amount of oxygen in the water. And that oxygen the fishes breathe in. So that basically suffocates the fishes. And also, the fishes eat the litter. So if they eat it, they die because of chemicals.
And ally 3 is how we can keep beaches clean. So we actually made this poster and we put these around the beaches. We made it in Thai and English so people can understand. For our action, we went to the beach and picked up some rubbish, and we actually made we keep those rubbish and made our turtle sculpture.
Okay.
And
This is a real dead fish we found.
yeah, they're actually plastic inside the dead fish we found. And then our math element.
So these are the top acids that enters the oceans. These are the top countries that litters the most, and that is the top rubbish that pollutes the most.
If you want to know more about the top 10 countries that is polluted, you could go to Harry.
Yeah, research in 7 weeks, and this other map that we show are top 10 countries that most pollute. First is China, is 6 million ton in whole country. Second one is Indonesia, is 3.2 million ton in whole country. Third one is Philippines, it's 1.9 million ton in whole country. Fourth one is Vietnam, is 1.8 million ton in whole country. Then it was Sri Lanka, it's 1.6 million ton in whole country. Nigeria is 1.2 million ton in whole country. Then it was Thailand, 1 million ton in whole country.
Okay, our learning inquiry one is description of drowning. Beginning of our project, we don't know what is drowning is, so we had been research about it. And when we know it, we started to come to the learning inquiry to drowning in Thailand, like how many people drown every year in Thailand, and how many days in Thailand. And our learning inquiry three is how can we reduce the number of drowning in Thailand? By using those our donation for our floaty donation, and we have about 57 floaties to donate.
This is our art piece that we made. These are Thai fruit, Thai elephants, Thai patterns, and a Thai flag. We did that to represent the 4 Thai kids drowning. So first of all, we just trimmed it a little. Then we stuck it on backing paper. Then we stuck this on, and then we wanted to make it look more watery, so we did this. And then on.
Here is our 4-hand sculpture representing the 4 children drowning every day. And we use this light element here to show the shadowy bits of that to make it look more okay and that stuff. So then we could add more things to our sculpture. And over here we have our floaty donation, where we recently collected about 57 flotation devices. And that's what we're trying to do for our action, to reduce the numbers of Thai children drowning in Thailand. And we were trying to do that because drowning is the #1 killer in Thailand.
Hello, and we are the Flooding Group. These are our LOIs.
The LOI one is the characteristics and behaviors of flooding, or like how flood works, how it's caused, and what it looks like. The effects flooding has on people and communities. The effects that flooding can have on people, and like financial, health problems, whatever. And LOI 3 is the techniques we can use before, during, and after a flood, or like the techniques like setting up sandbags, building up dams, what to do to protect ourselves, basically.
It's our art. It's my house before and after a flood. We put these 2 pictures together, and we used words. And we went on to artistic effects. And we used cotton buds and acrylic paint.
Okay, so next bit.
And this is our popcorn and lemonade sale.
Oh, I remember you guys.
Our action is to raise money to buy 4 boxes to give to people after a flood, so then we could help them.
And we raised over 10,000 bahts.
These are the supplies in the box. So that we have towels, gloves, water, and batteries and flashlights, paracetamol, iodine, waterproof bandages, and a digestive medicine thing.
There's a bar chart of the people we interviewed in my village and his family members. These are the items, and these are the amount of people interviewed.
Hi, we're the Water Conservation Group. I'll talk you through our LOIs first. Our LOI 1 is what water conservation is. Water conservation on the internet is recycling water, reusing water, and just saving water. Here are the different perspectives of different students of what water conservation means. The most interesting one is Camille's one because conserve in French means to keep. LOI 2 is the impact of water conservation on the environment. So I found that a lot of the rivers are drying out. So if we reduce the amount of there's one river that's drying out. That's because of a drought, and also because we have too many dams along it. So if we reduce the amount of electricity we use, we can reduce the amount of dams we have, and we can save those rivers. And my LOI 3 is how St. Andrews can save water. That led to my action. I wrote this letter to Mr. Harrison regarding the leaking taps and the leaking urinal in the staff room TV2 down floor. And Mr. Harrison said I should email Kunsuri. So I did. So Kunsuri said that the maintenance is working on it, and they have to get the spare parts first. But once they have it fixed, we will save the school 155,200 liters of water each year, because we normally use 10,800,000 liters every year, and that's about 2 of our swimming pools. And we made an animation about water conservation.
Pensamento em meu pai, nada tenho que temer. Ele só me pede a fé no mundo é poder. Ele só me pede a fé no mundo é poder. Ele só me pede a fé no mundo é poder. Ele só me pede a fé no mundo é poder.
I think it's this tap. We made it with paper mache and plaster and silver paint. There's nothing supposed to be inside. And we have these jobs coming out, which is our facts. I don't see any water coming out. These are supposed to be your paper ones. And these have information about our school's water usage. So we use 30,000 every day, 900,000 every month, and 10,800,000 every year. And that's about 2 of our swimming pools.
So, do you know why there's so many plastic bags right behind me? Because this is how many used in 4 shopping trips. That's why we can tell you that, is to make you go through.
Hello, I'm Haben from the Animal Group, and I'm here to tell you our 3 lines of inquiry. So our LOI 1 is how pollution affects on sea animals. And our LOI 2 is how water pollution has changed over the 100 years. And our LOI 3 is what action can we do to help sea animals? We tried to research all of them, but we finally finished it.
So we made a little video of how to make t-shirt bags, and this is Sally and Fast video because they are really a YouTuber, and we did upload it to YouTube, but somebody banned it because the music, and so we still got video on here. This is not on YouTube. So this is basically how do we make it, and we got
some examples around, and the original t-shirt bag from the video was around here.
Awesome.
We did this artwork to show that how much the whale is in danger. So like every time when people go fishing or like fishing and stuff, the whale tail or like any other animal gets stuck in the nets or like eat the plastic bags and then they get sick and then they grow and it kind of like squeeze their skin and then they become pretty much endangered. And this is like we made this artwork to show that we care about them, and it's like how we express ourselves. That the whale tail is really like important. The whale is also important. The animal is important to us, not like only humans. And yeah. Yay!
My name is Tim. That's Lorcan, and she's we're doing about landfills and rain. Our first line of inquiry is how landfills work. This line of inquiry is about the effects of a landfill, the history, and what it really is in general. Our second line of inquiry is the effects landfills have and will have on the environment. So this line of inquiry links with rain. So when rain goes onto the landfill, it will bring down leachate, which is a poison from the garbage, underground into the groundwater. It will poison the groundwater, destroy animals and habitats. Our third line of inquiry is responsibility school have on waste disposal. So this is about how our school manages our waste. So we interviewed Kun Suri, she's the head of maintenance, and she says our school's trash does not get recycled at all. And then we have our actions. We have 3 actions. We created a discount card for the coffee shop. So how it works is you get 1 stamp when you buy a drink with your own mug. And then when you get 16 stamps all the way to the end here, you'll get a free drink. Our second action was we created recycling paper boxes for the blind school. It's already in every class now. So you just have to put your scrap paper in, and then we will donate it to the blind school to turn into bale. Our third action was we visited a landfill and took photos for our art project. You can learn more and get a coffee discount card with Sorkin and Yongyi.
So this is the Drought Group's work. We've been working on our exhibition for about 7 weeks now to 8, and this is our LOI 1, 2, and 3. The features of drought is LOI 1. The future of a drought is LOI 2, and the reaction of different countries and how governments work on drought is LOI 3. And these are 2 maps. This is severe types of drought, and then these are just droughts all around the world. And we wanted to, for the reactions of different countries, we compared America and Thailand to see what America did. And what they did was they made programs, like try to show awareness of how much water we use and how we can stop it. So we decided to do the 13 gallons challenge, which was our action. And we made a blog over here, which shows you guys how we reacted to the 13 gallons challenge.
So here's our website that we had made for the exhibition. We've been working on it for the past few weeks. And this may be a map that you might have seen Jacob Eve presenting. And then over here we've got the dam construction along the Mekong River. So as you can see, China has 5 dams constructed and 1 more under construction, which means total of 6 dams.
And the empty pods that you can see around here that have no dams, they are suffering from drought conditions. That's the reason why Thailand has the severest drought they've ever had in 20 years, or in more than 20 years. And then here we've got the 13 gallons challenge. In this challenge, you're only supposed to use 50 liters, which is 13 gallons a day. But we did it from 13 gallons for 2 days, making it more challenging. And then here we've got our blogs. Everybody wrote 2-day blogs, and some people wrote 3 for their overall. And we really enjoyed doing this challenge, and we felt it was really easy if you put in some effort. And then Jacob's going to tell you about our maths element.
Whenever you're ready.
When we're doing the 13-gallon challenge, for 2 toilet flushes, we use 14.5 liters. And over here, for 4-minute showers, we use 8.5 liters, as you can see here. And for 5-second hand wash, 5 times, we use 4.5 liters. And washing dishes, we use 9.1 liters.
Have you seen this?
And we use food coloring to make it stand out. So worldwide, the average number of people who die in the drought is 19,261. That can fill a whole pitch here that die around the world. And worldwide, from 19,000 to 2015, 1,400,000 people died due to drought. That can it's the population of Belgium around the world. And this is our certificate for being creative, independent, and showing responsibility. Challenge. We chose this challenge because we want to know how does a drought feels like. Normally people use 14 gallons, which equals 151 liters. And and the hardest part of this challenge is to choose a food, because they have to choose a dry food like nuts and something like that. Yeah.
So this is our drought room, and as you can see, we got our big tree over there and our smaller trees there, and then we got our big 2D tree. Then on the bottom we got our floor, and we got loads of branches and everything on the floor to replicate some more of a drought, and it's quite hot in here as well to make it warm. So then, as you can see, we've got the shadows everywhere on the walls, and as you can see on the bottom of the green, on the smaller trees, there is red to see the suffering, and over here where you can see is the last bit of life of all the dead stuff. Boom.